Delina Pū Me Ke Aloha. Want to say mahalo nui to everybody for loving this month's content, for watching Pū Me Ke Aloha, for all your love in the comments and the messages. Just wanted to jump on here with the ladies of Moi Media and share with you a little bit of how we came to make Pū Me Ke Aloha and some of the behind the scenes stuff that happens in the process.
What is going on?
My white shirt keeps on getting captured.
Kino trot your spine as trying to put a kind of acrobat into the funnels.
With Beyonce in the background. He's writing a novel with sticky tape.
Oh, I know. More artsy looking. Artsy. Don't go fast. Oh, work down. Go real slow.
So mahalo nui, ladies, for this wala'aupu ana o kākou.
Here we go. Okay, where are we starting? What you like to talk about? Pairing the ride-along idea with Mahina ʻŌlelo Hawaiʻi did something different. It was something different and it was received differently. So how did we get here? What were the things that we were doing to be able to kind of spark this idea?
The way it came about, every year, I don't know how many years we've been committed to celebrating this month.
It's at least 8 years, yeah, if not 10.
Yeah. And pushing it each year to take it a little bit further. It's something that, we look forward to. It's a big feat that we put a lot of work and energy to, but it's important,
In general, we haven't had many opportunities to create content in ʻŌlelo Hawaiʻi or around ʻŌlelo Hawaiʻi. We've been in this movement for a really long time, but I feel like we're still in this place where we're still having to kind of go to bat for just basic infrastructure stuff, like I just wrote testimony for a bill trying to get more positions for kaiapuni teachers because there's just not enough teachers. And so there isn't a lot of extra resource or a lot of extra people to go around to make things like this happen. And so the fact that we have decided as a company that we're going to take, a portion of the support of our customer base and the people who have, who stick with our brand and channel that into developing stuff like this, to me is like a direct way of addressing a need that is really there for our community,
I think something that we always strive for in Kealo Pico is being relevant and innovative authentically with what we do as who we are as people, right? So we're on a holo cruise doing some R&D, or what do you call it, Haynes? What was our trip?
Reconnaissance.
Right. On Hawaii Island, going really deep into this moʻolelo that we're getting into this year, with our design process and building our collections around. I mean, we were in it thick, I want to say, for like those 3 or 4 days.
There was it was open in the sense that we didn't pack the schedule so hard that there wasn't time for rest or reflection. But it's like a specific creative zone, I think, where you're not like, okay, I have a 10 o'clock here and a da-da-da, you just kind of go, okay, we're going to go here and we're going to give that some time. And I think we can probably get these things done, but we're not in a rush. It's almost like it's an approach where you can't pressure yourself out. You can't be loaded with expectations. You kind of just got to go, okay, we have a few goals in mind. We're going to create the space and time. We're going to allow the ʻāina and the kupuna and whatever's around us to interact with us to kind of shape and guide that process. But you have to be willing to do that. And, that's not a luxury that we can always afford, but when we can, we try to.
That's for sure my process that I need. And we had just come out of Waipio Valley. We spent the whole day there. getting into maps, getting into place names, getting into, you know, getting to know people from there. And so like, you know, our minds were going. And so it was fresh in our mind, like, okay, we got to make ready for Mahina ʻŌlelo too, right? And kind of bring in this moʻolelo into that space for this coming year. But it was already, I think we're in December already. So it was like right around the corner of something like we had to put together and do and plan for. And honestly, it was like probably 8 o'clock at night. We're like tapped out. Our brains are cabbage already with all of this ike we've been learning all day. And our ideas were super lame at the moment.
I think we were tired of talking about Haʻinakolo.
Yeah.
We had been
We
talking
kind of were. We kind of
Yeah.
were. Because we've been doing Haʻinakolo all day long, right? And Jamie had asked me like 5 times already, like, Kay, how are you going to talk about this story? What are you going to say? And so I think that, you know, tapping into, you said it really well, Kelly, tapping into, I think our shared humanity is how you articulated it. You know, it's like finding those things that we all share and then looking to explore and expand out from that place. Hina, the moʻolelo of Haʻinakolo, she has to leave home and go to another place. And, you know, she faces some really intense challenges there. Things that are very, very hard for her. And I think she suffered heartbreak there, had to journey all the way home, like face all these obstacles in that. And, you know, had you picked up Brada from Waipio, it would have been easy. She wouldn't have almost lost her life. Kanaloa's working her, Kelmikin, Kelka trying to drown her, you know.
Yeah. And all of that journey and all of that trauma, then, you know, that we actually all go through that, whether or not, even if you choose somebody from Waipio. right. Bro. You're gonna have stuff. You're gonna have action. You know, that you're always gonna have action. You're always gonna go through those things where, because that is the kolo, that is the journey, that is the hukai that we're on. So we can get to our strongest self. We can get to that sort of like, we've challenged to the point where we're birthing our highest selves.
For real, those challenges do allow.
So we had started to drive home and we took a break from talking about Haʻinakolo. And then I don't know who asked who, but somebody in the front seat, was one of you guys, asked the other person a personal question about relationships. You just started talking as if you were just like talking to your tita. And whoever answered had like a really great answer.
Probably wasn't me.
And I was just sitting in the back seat like, am I seeing what I'm seeing? Are they thinking what I'm thinking? And then who knows who said it out loud? I know somebody said we should have recorded that, and eventually it became, we should do Mahina ʻŌlelo like this. Why? Because you feel safe. You can talk freely. You can stare out the window. The pressure is off when you're riding down the street with your tita in a car.
Yeah.
So it's great to be like, okay, I think we have an idea. And then it was just like, can we get the writers? And luckily, like almost all the people we reached out to first said yes. Had they not, we wouldn't have had a show.
That was a good night.
And I gotta say, the company van looked real cute. When we were shooting that B-roll, she looked real good.
Yeah, she looked great. Flat tire and all. Love her.
Oh, out of the mist. Okay, let's jump in.
Because we're so lucky to be doing this kind of work and serving in this way, how can we channel it in a way where it's like you have no other choice but to feel it? You know what I mean? To feel it and to be ignited by it and to just be energized, you know, and coming in closer with those connections. And I feel like we fail if we don't reach broader and broader audiences of our people. To me, that's the way I feel inside. I'm like, if we're not pushing it for more people, you know, to come in touch with this mo'olelo, then we're not succeeding like how we can.
That's sort of like the main reason why my big thing that I wanted to do with these ride along videos is make sure that we subtitled in both languages.
These Mahina ʻŌlelo pieces we made do offer something to everybody. I love seeing the joy of the banter, and at the same time I was getting like an earful at times of ʻŌlelo Hawaiʻi, or I was seeing these words and I would say, oh, that's how you would say that, you know?
Oh, well, I mean, this is a great time too to say like mahalo nui to our writers, to Lenny Girl, Puni, and Chardonnay, because those wahine really made it what it is, you know? Like, I came with my questions and my sunglasses ready to have a good time, but you know, if I picked up somebody who had like half the personality, wouldn't have been the same, you know what I mean? But it was also that thing of like, let's offer something that is not super serious, you know? Like, yes, we have to talk about the decline of the language and how important it is that we all speak it and all these things, like, but we have to have more conversations as well. You know, we have to have the happy ones and the joyful ones, and provide spaces where we're not being super serious, you know, where we're having a good time, you know, mako ʻŌlelo Hawaii or mako ʻŌlelo Haole, and then we're adding language to that, you know, so.
Don't get me wrong, aloha wau ka hula awana a ka hula pahu. You're not going for ui. No, yeah, going for stamina. Yeah, you know, Lila, I know. I respond very well to those. I respond very well to those types of hula.
Yeah, kino keo aku nei. Oh, and eo mai kai.
It's so important to like have a good time. It's so important to celebrate and also to keep it real. And our three riders, I feel like, just entered into the van with such good energy, ready for whatever.
And here's another tita. Right? testing. Ladies, any advice from the back on this situation?
Yeah, and mahalo all three of our riders. You didn't even meet Chardonnay ever before, yeah, Haynes, until that day.
We met via FaceTime once, and that was it before the day. Yeah.
So yeah, big mahalo for them for trusting us and for being able to like talk story. The way it was set up is Kel and I were in the truck in front of the van, kind of guiding you through the route. So that all the things that Haynes had to think about, our truck in front was kind of like the marker that she just had to follow in traffic. And we were able to connect the sound system between the van to the truck so that we could hear in live time what was happening, like what the conversation was. We couldn't see it, but we could hear it. And me and Kel were just like, we're having such a good time, like listening in. We're like, this is so good, like what you guys were talking about, and the content or the discussions that were happening, the conversations are relative to our real people, you know. And there is light moments of laughter and jokes and crack ups, and then there's like really deep moments too.
Sometimes I sabotage the potential relationship, you know, either because, oh, it looks like plenty of work and do I have this kind of capacity?
Well, and then it's like you said, like it is a small production, you know. It was like you guys in the truck in front of us. I mean, that was it. It was a 3-woman crew.
I was sweating, you guys.
Yeah.
Sweating. And then in the moments where we knew we were good, we're just looking at each other like. Well, but yeah, I mean, it was pretty up and down, and I think me and Jamie just tried our best to like make sure that the energy was captured, that you know, like we didn't step in too much, making a big deal about the tech setup.
I hear a crackling, Kels.
As we were going, so there are many days of testing leading up, and so many things to think about. You know, cars are not easy to film inside unless you have the right equipment, which we did not. We did not have the right equipment.
We just had
we had double stick tape.
Yep.
And some clamp things, and you know, I had the audio set up pretty cherry. Audio was cherry the whole time.
The audio is cherry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did end up on the video side needing to sacrifice big legs of the ride because we didn't have the footage. We had camera issues. And I definitely went through the highs and lows of that through this ride, of knowing that our original plans to show the ride as is from start to finish could no longer be done. I feel so deeply for the time and effort that everyone put in, and to like not be able to use a piece of it because of a little tiny camera that decided to shut itself off for no reason. I don't like that noise.
What, jiggling?
No, it's like restarting itself.
Yeah, yeah. But just like how you guys really handled it well on the day, the technical difficulties that were happening, like you guys didn't let that energy invade the space of the conversation. You guys totally handled that really well. I feel like we all also handled that heartbreak really well afterwards, because we just had to take what it was that we had and package it up in the best way possible. And like, hats off, Kels, on the editing, because that was a feat, you know. It really took some wizardry to make that happen, because it wasn't exactly what we planned. And we did intend on having like a whole, you know, first leg, makuahine Hawaiʻi wale no. And then that didn't really happen, but some of that is going to be available in another format. So
you know what? Our flat tire was like a blessing because it allowed us to like just take a breather and laugh.
it was so hilarious.
We lost
That's the best flat tire I've ever had, honestly.
Good job, ladies. Mahalo to you both.
Oh, mahalo to you guys.
Good
It
job.
was really good fun. It was really good fun. It was super good fun, and it really kind of opened my eyes to all sorts of different possibilities, and it was really inspiring. So yeah, so mahalo nui for all your interest and support in Pū Me Ke Aloha. If you'd like to watch episodes, go to the links in our bio. One of them goes to the moʻolelo site, where you can also learn more about Haʻinakolo, and you'll also find in our bio a link to our YouTube channel, where you can watch all of the videos and hear the bonus audio track, all as a playlist for your listening and watching pleasure. Thank you so much for joining Moi Media Ma to talk about Pū Me Ke Aloha.
Aloha. Mahalo.
Aloha.